Hi, Aunt Megan.
Hello. Your mother-in-law has a big mouth.
Oh, does she?
Well, it was an accident.
I'm sorry. A picture of you guys for Michael.
Not in my house.
Well, he just hold on, Jamie. He needs to see your face. He needs to see your face.
I'm wearing a robe.
Real quick. I don't care. It's bad timing. I'm pregnant.
What? Shut up, you're lying.
I'm not lying. I'm 3 weeks pregnant.
Probably my favorite reaction was from Jay, my brother. So I told him when he came home for leave from the Navy after graduating Navy Basic, and he gives these ridiculous, like, bone-crushing hugs. So he gives me this hug, and he's crushing my lungs, and I said, Jay, you know, if I can't breathe, neither can your niece or nephew. And he lets go so fast, and he stands back, and he goes, there's a baby in there.
Yeah.
Hi. Thanks,
So he
Michael.
can. There you go. See, thank you. That's good. Okay. Don't be pissy at me.
She
I
ate my present like Dan did it.
I think it is not a good idea to go try on a bridesmaid dress.
She's preggo.
I'm preggo.
What? Called that. Actually, I called that last week.
So
Oh.
okay.
Did I not?
Calling my father-in-law Mike was a lot of fun. I went downstairs into the basement, and I said, Mike, I just, Michael and I have been talking about it, and we would really, really like you to take a trip to Germany to see us. And he's like, well, I gotta take off work take vacation days for work, and I gotta get a passport, and, you gotta save up some money, and I just don't know, Kelsey. And I was like, Mike, I really need you to find a way to take vacation. And if you could come and visit us in approximately 9 months, that would be really great. And he's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And he's smiling, and I was like, do you get it? And he's like, yeah, 9 months, I get it. And I look over at Luann, and I was like, do you get it? And she's like, yeah, I get it. And she winked at me, and I was like, no, I don't think they get it. And so I was like, are you sure you really get it? And Mike goes, yeah, 9 months for Oktoberfest. January, February, March, and he starts counting, and I look over at Luann, and she's like, yeah, 9 months for Oktoberfest. And I was like, no, 9 months for pregnancy. And Mike just stopped, and he smiled from ear to ear, and he came and gave me a hug.
For you?
Yeah.
But I left it at home, so I'll get it to you in Fargo. You're just gonna have to chalk it up to pregnancy brain.
What?
Pregnancy brain.
No way.
Yeah.
Telling my mom was a complicated little situation. I tried to make it kind of fun, and so I met her at the Legion. It wasn't exactly the place I wanted to do it, but she had just gotten off work, and I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm really hungry. Can you get me some food? I want a chicken bacon ranch wrap, and I'll meet you there. And she's like, okay. So I sit down, there's my box of food, I open it up, I start eating, and I was like, this is really good. And I was like, Mom, did you buy my food? And she's like, yeah, I paid for you food. And I was like, sweet, thanks, that's great. So are you going to take me to Target? And she's like, why would I take you to Target? And I was like, well, to buy me stuff. And she's like, no, why would I buy your own stuff? Why would I take you to Target and buy you stuff? And I was like, well, I thought that maybe I read it somewhere in this book, and the book was like how to be a great grandma or something. And she's like, I'm not a grandma. And I said, you will be in 37 weeks. And she goes, hold on, I need a minute. And she's like, I can't be a grandma. I'll be a nana. I'm too young to be a grandma. Now this is coming from the woman who told me on my 18th birthday, if I had done things right, she could have been a great grandma by age 52. And now she's too young to be a grandma. Nice try, Mom.
Or whatever, and tell me fix my car.
All right, there you go.
Also, Michael really wants to thank you for fixing the car because he has 2 lives at stake if something happens. You get it?
What's that?
I said, do you get it?
I do get it.
Okay.
Telling my dad was kind of the same thing as telling Michael's dad. So I went over to my dad's house, and I'm talking to my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I just need you to come and visit me in Germany, okay? I'm really gonna need you there. And he's like, Kels, I don't know. I gotta take vacation time off of work. You gotta save for that stuff. It's not exactly cheap flying to Germany and back. Plus, you gotta get a passport, and those things aren't cheap, and they take time. And I'm like, Dad, I just really need you to come to Germany. And I pulled out of my pocket my little pregnancy stick that said pregnant 2 to 3 weeks. And I said, please, Grandpa, as I held it up to his face. And he goes, yeah, I can come to Germany. But I have a better excuse. I'm pregnant.
What? No.
I got it. I got it. Yeah, huh? Like. So, no, I cannot. When I told Holly, I was at my dad's apartment, and she was sitting down playing her iPad with Tanner, and I sat down next, it was Holly, Tanner, me, and I sat down next to Tanner, and I was like, so Hol, how's it going? And she's like, good, playing away on the little iPad. And I was like, so what you been up to? Oh, nothing. How's basketball? It's good. And I was like, so you're just going to sit on the iPad all day, or are you going to look at me and actually, you know, have a conversation with me? And she's like, I'm listening, I'm talking to you. And I looked down at my belly, and my dad and Amy are looking at me, they're just grinning ear to ear, they know it's coming. And I said, boy, I'm really glad you don't have eyes yet. I wouldn't want you to see Auntie Holly ignoring you. And she looks over at me and she goes, Auntie Holly, did you bring the cat? She's looking around for the cat. She thought I brought the cat over. I was like, no, Auntie Holly, I did not bring the cat. And she's like, I can't be an aunt. This is too much pressure. the kids love me. I'm all their favorites. And I'm like, too much pressure for you? Yeah, let's go with that.
Not drunk at all. No drinking at all. Are you being sarcastic or is it No, that's not what we were expecting.
So my parents told my dad's parents that they were pregnant with me when my grandmother was eating breakfast, and she took it all nonchalantly, and she's like, well, are you going to do the right thing? Are you guys going to get married? And they said, yeah, we're going to get married. And she says, okay. And she goes right back to eating her breakfast. Well, when I told her I was pregnant, pretty much the same thing happened. She was sitting in her chair watching TV, and I said, I just told her she was going to be a great grandma, and that she really should look into getting a passport and coming to see me, because I wasn't sure how often I'd be able to come home. And she just smiled, she looked at my little stick, and she said, okay. My grandfather, her husband, said, I'm too young to be a great-grandpa. And I said, well, then I'm too young to be a mom. And he goes, no, you're plenty old enough. And I said, well, then you are too. And he goes, no, I'm getting too old. And I said, don't worry, I'll buy you a cane for Christmas. And he says, well, I already got one. And I said, well, then you're set. And that was the end of that. They're very nonchalant people, so I didn't expect a whole big thing, but they were happy, they smiled, and yeah, they were excited. Telling my mom's parents was a little bit different. My grandfather actually had his brother and sister-in-law over, and they were meeting with a friend, and I kind of didn't know, and I was like, oh, great, like, the whole world is here. But anyways, I went and I gave my grandmother a hug. She said, hi, Kelsey, how you doing? And then I went and she said, go say hi to your grandpa. So, okay, in front of these people, I will go say hi to my grandpa. So my grandpa said, oh, you better do some sit-ups for the army. You're not going to pass your next PT test. I was bloating at the time. I was huge, I won't lie. And I was like, well, I won't be able to do sit-ups for very much longer, great grandpa. And my grandma sitting in the living room saw me, and she scoots to the edge of her seat. She goes, Kelsey, are you pregnant? Oh my God, come give me a hug. And she was so excited, grinning ear to ear. She goes, I just love you so much, and I love this baby even though I haven't met it yet. And she's like, I'm so excited and happy for you. I thought I was going to be 80 by the time I was a great grandma. She was probably the most outwardly excited that I saw. I didn't get to see my mother-in-law's reaction. I called her on the phone, but she probably would have been right up there with her. But It was great. Okay, so if you've watched this video all the way to the end, you've probably figured out that I'm pregnant. If you're seeing this on Facebook, that means that I am now 12 weeks pregnant. I still got a couple days yet. So I will be posting a video later to my YouTube page. It's called Calservations. It's like conversations, but with Kels instead of combo. It'll give you all the details, how far along I am, when I'm expected, names for if it's a boy or a girl, etc., etc., etc. Hope you enjoyed my video. To those of you who watched it, you know, and if you know somebody who just slid over the video and decided not to watch it, well, congratulations, you know first. Have a great day, guys.